Hey guys, welcome back to the Tukes and Tires YouTube channel. As always, I'm Zach, and this week we're running some brake lines and showing you how to save some money on your flex lines when you're doing a lift kit.
Hey, is that Timmy's?
Yeah, because we're in Canada. Okay guys, we're gonna jump right into this. I'm gonna show you all the stuff I bought to do this, and I'm gonna explain how you can save money with, buying some stuff and changing some stuff around on your truck when you're doing a lift kit and doing your brake lines and stuff. So I'm gonna start off with all the lines and fittings I bought. Hold on here. All the lines and fittings and stuff that I bought. Obviously we got quarter to go to the back, and there's gonna be a little bit that goes to the master. We got 3/16 for on the rear end and all the front brake stuff. OEM flex lines, and we got 1/4-inch hangers to hang the line. And I'm just reusing the OEM metering block. I just kind of cleaned it up and painted it and put some new fittings in there. And for the tools that we're going to use to do this, I've searched and I've bought many bending tools, and I found that this style of bending tool seems to work the best. I would totally recommend this. A lot of places sell this, like Eastwood. I bought mine at Princess Auto. It's just like Harbor Freight, but that's up here in Canada. And little cutter, you got a tubing straightener. This can do 3/16 and 1/4, so that's pretty handy. I'm going to show you how that works. Little deburring tool for the inside of the line and the outside. And then for a flaring tool, I used this on one of my last videos where we did hard AN line. This, obviously, you just buy a different, like this is the way this one came with the 45-degree flares. This can do a standard flare, a double flare, and a bubble. But obviously for this, we're just going to use I think it's like a double flare. But I'm going to explain again in this video how it works. A lot of people, like, I know even myself in the past, I've bought pre-flared brake lines because you could never flare a brake line for the life of you. You always had it leaking. But I would totally recommend buying this flaring tool. This isn't a paid thing or anything. I bought it with my own money. It is a beautiful machine for what it does, and it literally is paid off on the first couple times that I've used it. And it lasts a long time if you take care of it, if you lube up the dies and stuff. So that's what we're going to do. So now moving on to how to save you guys some money. I know this might not help some guys that have already done a lift kit, but if you're doing it like I am and you're redoing everything, this is a very easy way to save you some money. So I mean, like, I think it was like $8 for like each flex line. So what I'm gonna do is, this is a good example over here. You can see this bracket is where it is, and there's the hole where the line comes through. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drill out these rivets, and we're just gonna move this down. I don't know yet if I'm gonna try to do some like fancy bending through the hole, or if I'm just gonna run it out the bottom. I'm not sure yet, but basically, because I'm doing a 2.5-inch lift, so I'm gonna just lower those 2.5 inches, and we're gonna do the same thing to the back one and modify it. So that's how I'm saving money on this. And it's like, if you ever want to go into any parts store and you need like a brake line, it's like, then you don't need some kind of fancy one that's like super crazy expensive. Because I mean, I looked it up, and it was just like, I think it was like $100 for like flex line, and that's ridiculous. Who's spending that kind of money? I mean, I get it if you maybe already, your truck's fine and you don't live in the salt belt and everything's not rusted out, but you've done a lift and you need to extend the brake lines. But holy Toledo, Lacey. But we're gonna jump right into that, and yeah, I'm gonna start drilling those things off, and we're gonna start modifying them. The back one is it's gonna take a little bit extra because we got to do some cutting and welding, but I'm gonna show you that. So here we go. Okay guys, so I got that bracket out of the back. There was just 2 rivets in there. This is showing it upside down. Originally this would be flipped around the other way. It's just the easiest way to explain it. So you can see that I marked the line for the center of where the flex line would be. And what I'm gonna do is, I'll just show you with the tape measure. You can see right now, I think we're about 2 1/4, and obviously I need to go down another 2.5 inches from that. So I found this just little piece of cut off steel. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna section this somewhere. I'm gonna cut it across, and then basically I'm just gonna weld this in place. I might have to do a slit here to then correct the bend, but that's gonna get us further out, and it'll make it so that I can bend it up. So I don't know how much I have to add, but I will, once I get this made up and cut and everything, I will show it to you guys, and I'll let you know how much I extended this, and you know how much I sliced it here so that you guys know how to do it yourselves. So I'm gonna get doing that. Here we go. Okay guys, well, you can kind of see what I got going on here. I cut this here kind of right where this bends. This is open about 1/4 inch, not quite. And this piece here was 1 1/4 inch that I put in between there. I still got to cut it off and fully weld it out and stuff. But now when I measure this, this is now, it's about 5 inches. So that's a little bit over 2.5 inches, which is perfectly fine. All it's going to do is just make my steel line, or my brake line, a little longer coming down. Nothing wrong with that. So I'm going to fully weld this out, and we're going to bolt it in, and then I'll get to doing the front ones. I'll probably just show you guys what I did for that. It's nothing too fancy, but I'm going to get to her. Here we go. Okay guys, got that one welded all up, painted. It's looking pretty slick. But now I made up the one for the front. So obviously this is the passenger side. I haven't done anything to it yet, but this is the one I made up for the driver's side. So basically, all it's going to do is drop that down, that 2.5 inches, for me to do the lift kit on the front. Obviously I haven't done that yet, but I might see if I can get this bent around through the hole. What's nice about this, I'll be able to take this off, and I can always bend up the line to make it go through there, and then bolt this on to get my line on. I know that sounds kind of like a backwards way of doing it, but then it'll look more factory, and now I don't have to buy expensive brake lines if anything ever happens to it. So I'll get the other one finished up, painted, thrown on, and then we'll start making up some lines. So it's pretty exciting. Okay guys, we've got those brackets all made up. We're looking good now, so we're going to start doing some line. I'm going to start with the back line first, because that's going to be the most difficult one. This is 1/4 inch. I have that metering block in there just kind of temporarily, just so I know where to run my line. And I will flare this one end so that we can get it all the way to the back, and then I will flare the line and I'll cut it while it's in there, because it's going to be too tricky to get in and out a bunch of times. So we're going to start by straightening this. I have Eastwood's little straightener. So basically we just got to get this out the best we can. You know, you don't need a lot to start with. You know, you want to start with a little bit. Stick this on there, and then want to get this in between your legs, and then you just start working it.
How are things going in here? Oh my God!
Oh yeah, we're really getting it now.
You need a moment to yourself.
Dad, it's not what it looks like. I'm just straightening brake line.
Oh, I seen enough. I gotta go.
Oh well, guys, looks like we scared him off, but I'm gonna get that straightened up, and I'm gonna flare it. I'm gonna show you guys how to flare it, and then we're gonna snake this line in here. So let's get at her. I scared him, I guess. Oh well. Okay guys, well, we're gonna start flaring this line. First thing I'm gonna start off with, when I do this, obviously you can see we got my fitting on there. Make sure you got the right fitting, and you got it going the right way, because that's important. I'm just gonna take this deburring tool, and I'm just gonna deburr the inside, and then I'm just gonna take it, deburr the outside just a little bit. So the machine slides in there easy, and then we have a 1/4 inch die in the machine. You can see that there's two sides. Obviously one is for doing a bubble and this one is for doing the 45. Obviously we're doing a 45, so we're gonna get this line and we're gonna shove it in here. You can leave it a little long and that will be okay. Make sure I get it going the right way. So we're just gonna lock the jaws down loosely, and you can see we have it on operation 0. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull this until it bottoms out, and then we're gonna take this and we're just gonna lock it down. So then you can see on here there's all these other different operations. So obviously we have operation 1 for 1/4 inch, and what I do is I just take some WD-40, just shoot it on that die, and we're gonna go to number 1 on 1/4, and then we're gonna pull into it. And I look for it, and because you can watch when this kind of turnstile bottoms out, and I try not to go any further because it kind of makes the flare funny, but we'll see what we can do here. So we're gonna pull it, and you can see it kind of bottomed out there, and I only go just a tad bit more. Then we're gonna go to operation 2 for 1/4 inch, which is over here. I'm gonna shoot some WD-40 on that, spin it over to that, and same deal. We're only gonna go until the bar bottoms out, and it's about there. So now we can loosen the jaw off, slide this pin out, die should come undone, and then you can see we got ourselves a really nice 45-degree flare. So that should be perfect for us to slide that into the truck. So we're gonna straighten this more, and we're gonna do that. So here we go. Okay, so we got the line ran in there. We matched the AN hard lines, how it kind of goes down, and then we put it back into the factory location, kind of where it goes here. But I don't have an on-car flaring tool that's like this one. I don't really trust the other style that like clamps on the line. So I ended up just making just a thing that basically that you can vice grip this to the frame. I'm not worried about chipping the paint. I'll just touch it up. So basically we're gonna do the exact same thing we did over on the bench, but here, one thing to note when you're doing this, before you release your line out of this, just to check your 45-degree flare to make sure you have enough angle on it and that you're satisfied with it. That's just the most important thing. Also remember, put your fitting on while you're doing this, because you know we're all guilty of forgetting that. But we're gonna get this one flared over here. I think it should work all right, and I'll show you guys once we have it flared in there. So wish us luck. Here we go. Okay, so you can see that we just got that flared, and you can see the fitting looks pretty good. And then this is just my little rig that I made that goes on there. I don't know, it's kind of hard to see. Basically just took a tube, slit it, made a bolt thing that goes on there to clamp it there. Works pretty good. This is the only one that we're going to have to do that for, so all the rest of them I should be able to take out and do it on the bench. So we're going to get this one finished up, and then I'll show you guys how to use that other little bender I got, because I think I'm going to use it for doing some tight bends. So here we go. Well, we got those lines done on the front. They're a little tricky to get those bends, but we got them in there. It's looking pretty good. But we're going to move on to the back now, and I'm going to show you using this bender tool on the back, just because that's going to be a lot easier for myself. So we'll meet you back there. Okay guys, welcome back to the back of the truck. So obviously I'm going to take this axle out because it's still rusty, and I'm going to clean up and paint it, but I basically just want to get these lines made up so that they're ready to go when I want to throw them in there. But you can see on this line that I already got a 90 bent on it. We're going to get ready to do this one. But just to show you the bender, what I've been using, so it looks like this. I want to, because when you're using this and you put a fitting in here, it kind of sits in here funny, about right here. So I want to buy another one of these and like cut this out so the fitting will lay down in nicer. But this for now will work perfectly fine. You can use it backwards and kind of like flare the line backwards if you're by the fitting. That works too. But this is a steel line, just cut off piece I had. Obviously I've been using all the copper zinc stuff on the whole truck just because it bends easier. But just to demonstrate you guys how well this bends, so you just kind of hook it in there like this, and then you round it just like so. And that wasn't quite a 90, but you can see how nice of a radius this bends. So I'm gonna get the rest of the lines all made up on this rear end using this tool, and I'll show you guys once we get there. I think it's gonna turn out pretty sweet. So here we go. And Lacey's here, just so everybody knows. You see her? There you go, huh? Yeah, Lacey, you just want to bug me. Okay, guys, well, you can see that we got that made up there. It's looking pretty factory. Obviously, this side around the U-bolts is a little bit more forgiving than the other side, just because of the shock, how it comes down. And now you can see here with the bracket that we customized the arc on this flex line. So that's where you're saving money by lowering this down. If you do it this way, I mean, go ahead and spend the big bucks on the flex line if you got it. But you know, I gotta pinch pennies where I can. Obviously, this is looking a lot better than the one that was in there. This is the old junk that was in there. It looks pretty gross. I'll climb around to the other side so you guys can see all the lines and everything I ran. Oh. It's climbing on the ground business. Oh. So now you can see from this angle, you can see how I got my lines, my fuel filter there, and it all runs fairly neatly down the frame. So I think that's gonna do it for now, guys. Oh, but we're getting on to the final stretch here. I just have some cleaning up on the firewall to do, and I'm gonna get the cab bolted down and mess around with that stuff. But I'm hoping, I'm waiting on some parts in the mail from Rock Auto, so hopefully I get that stuff this next coming week, and then we'll be possibly putting the motor in. So keep your eyes peeled for that. If not, I'm waiting on parts. But thanks, guys, for watching. Hopefully you learned something. I mean, on that back there, I used my hand more than the bender. It seemed to work a little bit better, but you know, it is what it is. But I appreciate all you guys watching and subscribing, and we'll catch you next time. Don't forget to salute the beaver.